Ancient Egypt didn't fall because one army showed up and knocked it over in a single day. It rotted from the inside first. And one of the biggest reasons was a royal family drama so messy it feels less like history and more like an ancient Game of Thrones. After Alexander the Great died, one of his generals, Ptolemy, took control of Egypt and started a dynasty that would rule for almost 300 years. On paper, it was powerful. Egypt was rich, Alexandria was one of the greatest cities in the world, and the Nile kept the kingdom fed. But inside the palace, the Ptolemies were turning politics into a family blood sport. Brothers married sisters to keep power in the bloodline, queens fought kings, children were used as political weapons. Relatives were exiled, betrayed, poisoned, or executed. Instead of building a stable empire, each generation spent its energy surviving the next palace conspiracy. And every time the royal family split into rival factions, they invited outsiders to help them win. That was the fatal mistake, because the outsider they kept calling was Rome. At first, Rome acted like a referee. Then it became a protector. Then it became the real power behind the throne. By the time Cleopatra entered the story, Egypt was still glamorous, still wealthy, still culturally brilliant, but politically it was trapped. Cleopatra was talented, strategic, and ambitious, but she inherited a kingdom already weakened by generations of internal warfare. Her alliances with Julius Caesar and Mark Antony were attempts to survive in a world dominated by Rome, not simple romance. But when Antony and Cleopatra lost to Octavian, the game ended. In 30 BC, Egypt became a Roman province. The tragedy is that Egypt had survived invasions, dynasties, and centuries of change. But in the end, the empire's greatest enemy wasn't Rome at first, it was the throne itself.